Simple basic web page design to make your website more effective. Website design sounds intimidating, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't have to be intimidating. In fact, just a few web page design basics should be enough to get you on your way to building an effective website. In this presentation I will present you with the information for designing an effective website. Here are the basics to keep in mind. Number 1. Never lose sight of your visitor and the goal of your website. What does this mean? It is easy to get caught up in all the fancy things you can do with a web page. You can add text that slides in from one side or the other. You can add flashing graphics. You can add banners across the top and down both sides. You can highlight text, bold text, use different colors of text, even add flashing text. But here's the catch. Just because you can do something, doesn't mean you should. So before you even think about starting your web page design, you need to have a clear picture of what you want your visitor to do when he or she arrives on your site. Are you trying to encourage him or her to click on an AdSense ad? Are you trying to sell him or her a product? Are you trying to get him or her to sign up for your list? What do you want him or her to do? Your web page should be designed with this purpose in mind. Number 2. Less is better. The more information, banners, links, flashing images, videos, etc. that you incorporate into your website, the less likely your visitor will know what to do when he or she arrives there. In fact, most visitors to your website will stay less than 10 seconds. They'll glance at the page, decide whether or not you're providing what they're looking for, and if not, they'll leave. So make it easy for your visitors. Place the essential material above the fold. This refers to the space they'll see without ever having to scroll down. Make it so they'll see what you want them to see first. This means you'll want to have your AdSense ads above the content of your article if you're trying to encourage your visitors to click on AdSense. It means you'll want to have a strong headline at the top of the page if you're trying to sell a product. You get the point. Focus your web page designs around the goal of the page. Number 3. Use plenty of white space. It doesn't cost you more money if you use more space for your web page. So there's no reason to cram all your text together in a small space. Your visitors won't read a word if it's unappealing and hard on the eyes. Use plenty of white space to help make the reading of your content easy and effortless. If you keep these 3 web page design basics in mind before building your website, you'll be well on your way to producing web pages that accomplish exactly what you want them to accomplish. The easiest way to accomplish this is by looking at your design from the eye of your visitor instead of looking at it from the eye of the website developer. The easiest way to build a website is with the one web page design program that beats them all with price, simplicity, and sophistication. I will now discuss the 4 fatal web page design mistakes you should avoid. When companies sit down to look at their web marketing strategy, a number of things become very important. The website they use to attract and convert customers needs creating, as does a solid social media strategy. However, the strategy will not be effective unless some common mistakes are avoided. These mistakes are so common that it is fair to say that most companies make them when they first embark upon a marketing strategy. I will talk about some of these mistakes in this presentation, and offer some advice on how to avoid them. Number 1. The first mistake is using Flash as part of your web design strategy. Flash has been around for a number of years and it is still used by companies that want to have a big impact when site visitors first get to a landing page. It may look impressive, but the load times and the work a web browser has to do to get that page up and displaying means that most potential customers will just go somewhere else. While Flash looks great, and companies may want to use it to impress, it is so awkward and clumsy it will actually have a negative impact upon conversions. Use standard HTML or HTML5 instead, as a starting point, and watch your customers stick around and convert much more often. Number 2. Also, avoid having a solid black background on your site. This is used a lot by many companies. It does look good, but it also causes a few problems for the site visitors. After about 20 seconds of staring at a site that has a solid black background, a shadow effect is caused in the vision of the viewer. This shadow effect lingers long after they look away from the screen. No one likes it, and it could well cause the site visitor to give up with your site. Number 3. Astonishingly, some companies do not place their physical contact details on their site. This is because they are so impressed with their own site that they feel it is cool and chic to just have an email address and set of social media buttons. However, this makes the company look aloof and non-human. Include these details, such as a telephone number and address, and present yourself as a company that cares about their customers and wants to talk to them. Number 4. This leads on to my next point. One huge mistake is not including a detailed company page and or about us page. These two pages are vital for establishing trust with potential customers, and just as important as including a telephone number and physical address. Customers need to know your story and your background in as much details as possible because they can't physically see you. Trust comes first with site, and if site is not possible, a good story and amount of detail that makes you human is absolutely essential. Use photos too as part of your website, because people like people. Use these tips in your own site design and you should have a website that not only looks great and is effective, but also pushes customers towards conversions. My best regards to everyone.